Peace fam, what up? It's your boy DJ, aka Gems. Back with another one. Um, I just wanted to come on and like give a quick message, cause the energy from this past week that just went by was super intense, right? I myself kind of went through my own little tower moment, cause I'm not above it, right? I'm in my own healing journey and process, just like you. Um, it's crazy because it was almost like with this Gemini energy that came in last week, um, which is now it's moved into Jupiter in Gemini, I think at the time. And so now I think it's in Cancer right now at this point when you're seeing this. It kind of brought in a whirlwind, right? Like of experiences. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Uranus is in Taurus right now, if I'm not mistaken as well. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, what I'm saying in general, for those of you who don't really give a shit about the astrology thing, like the energy was very much like all over the place and sort of unpredictable, right? And so it brought a lot of like um interesting like experiences for me. A lot of triggering was going on, you know what I'm saying, in my most sensitive of places. The things that you know I feel secure in were kind of like almost like taken away. And what that did for me is it really put me in a place that was uncomfortable, you know? And I went from feeling like super grounded to not so much anymore. And so that wasn't a good time, right? It's not a good feeling. And I was struggling to really just like ground myself. I kind of felt like I was going back and forth in the mind a lot. And so, when you're in your mind like that, you're allowing your thoughts, excuse me, releasing, I guess. When you let your thoughts to kind of like control your experience, it can really throw you off. You know what I mean? It was almost like for me, it was like, I was caught between my mind and my body. Uh, but one thing that I forgot to do throughout, me feeling like I'm tossing and turning and kind of going, from one end of the spectrum to another. So, one moment I'm like, super positive, happy. And the next I'm feeling like, sad, depressed, whatever you want to call it, right? And feeling negative emotions and maybe some lack or limiting belief in myself. And it was funny because I remember telling y'all the other channel message, like, you got to be the eye of the storm, right? And so, the eye of the storm is typically the calm point in the middle of the actual hurricane, which usually has zero to no symptoms of the actual um, hurricane itself, right? And so, I really had to reflect on this week and thank God for the people that I have in my life who I can trust to talk and discuss and to help, we work through things and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? God has really blessed me with great people in my life who have come in at different points and gave me great advice and helped me seeing things for a more positive perspective. So much gratitude to those people. You know who you are. Much love to you. But one of the things that helped me get back into the eye of the storm space was, remembering to be in the heart, right? Like your heart has its own consciousness. And if you learn how to tap into that energy, it could save you a lot of headache, right? Because when your mind is trying to solve problems and fix the things or is stuck in the past, reliving the trauma, you know what I mean? Like your heart is a great place to go to find where the truth is, because that's where the real truth is, right? Your mind can mislead you because up there is your brain is wired based on your previous traumas and what society is telling you. We're on these damn phones 24/7, so you're constantly being bombarded with information and sadness and trauma, and then they throw in a little something funny here and there onto your feed, and you know what I mean? Like go from feeling good to feeling not so great about yourself, depending on what you're scrolling. You know what I mean? The death scroll, as we like to call it. The symbolism in that, right? The irony in that. But it's just like, your mind is a very, very powerful tool. And at times we are allowing other people to program it. Unfortunately, a lot of that you don't have control over when you're younger, but as an adult, you do, right? And we tend to forget that. But the key, honestly, yo, is taking a breath and getting out of your mind and getting into your heart space and remembering when you get into your heart space who you truly are, which is a divine being of love. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and the experience that you're having is not personal. It's showing you something about yourself that God is trying to get you to see, right? You're seeing, I think collectively for us, what that last week energy was about was showing us where we're still limited, right? Where we may be blocking ourselves, right? So if you have a fear of connecting with others and truly um, wanting to love someone, you may have felt extremely lonely, but at the same time, you may have retreated, right? You may have like gone back into your shell instead of being in your heart space and saying, okay, cool, I'm actually ready for love. I'm actually ready to trust someone to come into my life, right? Like I know that people aren't really out here to hurt me on purpose, and sometimes when they do, it's only because they're suffering from their own trauma, right? And so, you know, what those situations can bring up is that, you need to be more brave and more authentic in yourself and knowing that you can trust yourself, right? Like those moments where you may have experienced heartbreak, break, or betrayal, yeah, they may have happened, but they're no longer in your experience anymore. Not only because not because you're blocking it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna happen again the way that it happened because you have more knowledge this time. You have more understanding of who you are and what you're capable of because you know yourself. So if someone were to disrespect your boundaries or to betray you in infidelity or whatever, you know how to handle it. And you know that it wasn't you. You know what I'm saying? It was what that person was capable of. And you attracted that experience to show you more of who you are. And so, like, even when shit is not going your way, you can get into the victim mentality of like feeling bad and feeling triggered and like, damn, like this is uncomfortable and I just want to retreat, or I just want to keep everything and everyone at arm's length. And it's like, nah, you know what I mean? You're capable of so much more. You're capable of so much more love. And this is what that energy was about last week for some of you who may have, like me, who have maybe, was suffering a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was uncomfortable. So I just wanted to come on here and give you guys, some encouragement as some more of this energy might take a little bit of a dip and it might come right back, right? So it's like a wave. But just be grateful and in gratitude for the opportunities of these things that may not feel so great in the moment, but what they're truly showing you is allowing you to remove your limitations so that you can be your fullest and greatest self. So whether that's in love, finances, um, goals, self-worth, whatever it is that you're working through, when you have these trigger points, it's don't take it personally, right? Like it's personal, but it's not. You feel me? It's not always because you did something wrong or that, you're so focused on a mistake. Like, oh my God, if I had remembered to do this on time, like I wouldn't have gotten these penalty fees or whatever it is that you're going through. You know what I mean? Whether that's money issues, love issues, whatever are like the largest triggers for people in the human um, condition, it's like those things are all meant to show you something about yourself. So I want to remind you that, like, yo, you are loved. You know what I mean? Your love comes from within first, obviously. You're doing a great job. You're doing the best that you can, and that's what matters. You're at least fucking trying. There's a lot of people who aren't trying, who are just escaping, who aren't allowing themselves to feel, who aren't trying to understand why this is happening and what they can do better, So that gives you a leg up. There's no judgments to them. They'll get there when they're ready. But I just want to encourage you guys to just keep your head up, keep going. Like you're doing so well, dude. You're being way too hard on yourself unnecessarily. You know what I mean? You're actually fucking killing it. And one last thing, not to make it too dark, but there's a there's a lot of energy harvesting happening right now. We have the summer solstice coming up. I think either on the 20th or the 21st. I can't remember. Y'all can Google it and figure it out. But I want to take you, I want you guys to take a moment to journal, meditate, you know, set your intentions however you see fit, and what you want this new energy that's going to be ushered in, which is going to be very fiery energy, a lot of air energy, right? Which means that things are going to be moving quickly. So, the things that you give a lot of attention to and power to, um, will manifest really quickly, right? And so that means that they're going to be fighting for your attention. So the question then becomes, would you want somebody to choose what's going to be manifested for you, or would you rather choose it for yourself, right? Like, choose what's in the highest alignment, is what I'll say, because you got free will to choose whatever you want. But I would say give your energy to the things that you want to see come into this world, whether that's peace, more money, a better economy, a better, more health focused or health conscious living, um, more work life balance. You know what I'm saying? A successful business, a successful partnership. That's what you need to be focused on. Do not fall for the BS that they're putting out there. And you know what I mean. I don't need to go into the details. You know what's up. Be smart about it. Be in your heart space. Think about the possibilities instead of focusing on the limitations. Right? What's possible for you in love, right? You might actually get this beautiful partner that you desire. It can happen for you. This business, your channel might pop. You might start a new job. Maybe you're looking for a new job. You know what I'm saying? That dream job is right around the corner. All these things can be made possible with this energy. So what are you going to do with the energy? Are you going to use it to pour into yourself? Are you going to use it to manifest the world that you want to see in and around you? So yeah, I just wanted to remind y'all of that as well before I get out of here. But yeah, keep your head up. You're doing great. I'm here to support you. Um, Listen, I have a Telegram group that I created some time ago, and I'm, gonna be back at it and providing support for y'all. So I'll put the link in the description for those of you who feel called to join. We got a few members in there right now, but I'm trying to reawaken and re-enliven it. You know what I'm saying? So those of you who want to connect with me, if you feel called, or just, you want to be around other like-minded, supportive individuals, tap in, you know what I mean? Join up. We'll be happy to welcome you. Also, I put in the description, my readings, I open my readings back up. So if anybody feels called to connect with me, you're looking maybe for clarity, understanding, healing, direction, we can tap into your guides and get some information for you, as well. So yeah, if you feel called, holla at me. But I love y'all. Keep your head up, and yeah, happy June. Oh yeah, shout out to the fathers. Happy Father's Day. Big up to y'all. This is a great time to celebrate the divine masculine. So shout out to the brothers out there who are uh, leading with love, who uh, lead with peace and support instead of oppression and control. You know what I mean? You know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? We know true leaders are rising right now. So shout out to the real divine masculines out there, who deserve to be supported and propped up, and don't get the applause that they truly deserve. So I want to recognize y'all for Father's Day. This is a great month to celebrate masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So for my my ladies out there, you know, healing your divine masculine is super important as well. And so yeah, men, be great, supporters, be kind, be loving. We got to change the narrative on what it means to be masculine in all of the best ways. You know what I'm saying? And not just highlight only the darkness. So yeah, shout out to you guys who are doing that in the world. And we'll talk soon. Peace.